The market is picking up steam. Prices are climbing and bidding wars are becoming more common again. I'm Tony with Clarkson Santoro, and this is our real estate update for the week of Friday, March 29th. We know that selling or buying a home can be very stressful and confusing. That's why we do these weekly videos, so you can know how the market is affecting you as a homeowner who's thinking about selling, or as someone who's looking for a house that you would love to call home. Let's start this week by looking at how the market performed. There are now only 20 homes active on the market, which is 7 fewer than last week, and the average asking price is up to $2,282,000, up from last week's $2,134,000. The same number of homes went pending this week, with a lower average asking price of $1,824,000, down from the $1,955,000 last week. And we saw a lot more closings this week, 8 as opposed to the 1 last week. But that average closing price did come down to $1,684,000, down from $1,720,000. So now that we know how the market performed this past week, we can look at the broader trends that help us gain some insight into its overall health and its potential future direction. But before we do that, if you do find this information helpful, you can subscribe so that you don't miss out on future updates. And why not share this with a friend too? Everyone deserves to be in the know about their local market. All right, let's take a look at those market indicators. The inventory dropped again behind another busy week of pending sales. I get the feeling that we are going to be living in that 20 to 30 house inventory range again this year, similar to what we saw last year. For anyone thinking about selling, this is a great inventory level to enter the market at. Enough options to keep buyers interested, but not too much inventory to reduce your house's overall value. And as we'll see in the turnover rate, there are still a lot of interested buyers in our market. The turnover rate is now nearly 2 times a normal healthy market, and that isn't favoring buyers or sellers. Oh, let me say that again. The turnover rate is 2 times over a normal healthy market that isn't favoring buyers or sellers, meaning that even though the supply is up from a few weeks ago, the demand is even higher. And like I mentioned with the inventory, I think keeping the inventory around 20 plus range will actually help perpetuate a higher turnover rate, as it will help avoid buyer fatigue. Because of the turnover rate remains so high, we are seeing continued bidding wars for well-priced and well-marketed and prepared homes that have entered into this current market. More proof that buyer demand is up and that bidding wars are common is the over-under sales price statistic. After settling in at about $90,000 over asking for the past few weeks, it jumped up significantly this week. Homes are now closing for an average of $127,000 over the list price. That is more than 7% over asking for the average single-family home in San Ramon, and the highest average we have seen since the insane bidding wars of the COVID market 2 years ago. Ironically, with all this crazy market activity in the past 2 weeks, we have actually seen a dip in the average closing price this week. The average price came down about $64,000, nearly 3% decrease from last week's average closing price. Obviously, homes have not started losing value, so this metric is more an indication that there were a higher volume of lower priced homes that have sold in the past few weeks, driving that average down. Considering that the average asking price is well above $2 million, I expect that the average closing price to come up with the next month as those homes start to sell. As for the tech market, the QQQ had another week of stability, with just about a 1% increase over the last week. Stability in the tech sector will always mean sustained buyer confidence in our housing market. That confidence will help to counterbalance interest rate concerns. And speaking of the interest rates, they actually nosed down a fraction this week by 8 basis points. That doesn't tip the scales much at all, but not going up like it has been for the past couple of weeks is a good thing. The rates seem not to be affecting buyers as much as they are affecting sellers, keeping them from wanting to list and give up their sub 3% interest mortgages. If rates do start coming down with the Fed's promises, then I think we will see we'll see more sellers coming to the market. But it will likely also start driving prices back up quicker again. This week, I think the main takeaway for our market is that it is This week, I think the main takeaway for our market is that it is picking up steam for sellers. Prices are actually climbing, and bidding wars are continuing to be the norm despite the high mortgage interest rates. San Ramon continues to be a highly desirable place to live, and the lack of inventory is keeping the market from slowing down. The average home goes pending within 2 weeks of going on the market, and that number is inflated by the fact that most sellers wait at least 5 days before even looking at offers. So that 14-day average could easily be 10 days or less. The point is, if you are in any way considering putting your house on the market, you would be entering a very favorable seller's market. Buyers are going to continue to struggle finding a home that isn't under stiff competition when they want to write an offer. Thank you for joining me for our weekly update. I hope you find this information helpful and understanding how the market is impacting your options. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you will stay informed on how the market is shaping up this year. And if you have any questions about how you can navigate the stressful and confusing process of selling or buying a home, leave a comment down below or reach out to us directly. We're here to help guide you every step of the way. Have a safe Easter weekend, and we'll see you next week with a new update.